Well, well, well. Pepe coin. Bringing the flavor at 8. I saw it at 9%. And thought, yeah, I'm going to do a video because this is where I thought it was going. Right on back up here. This was the options expiration, end of quarter, end of month. I mean, this was treachery. So I thought it would come in here and chop around, and then potentially come up here. But so I didn't revisit this until today because I realized it was Sunday and we got a holiday coming up, 4th of July, and this is like an odd day here where the volume might be thin coming from the U.S. where liquidity might be thin. But what we can see is that, man, they're bringing the heat in the Asian session here. So they set it up with a pump, stopping candle here. Wow, that's nice. Some nice structure. What isn't nice here is this, but this is we're working on you down here to get you out. It's a good shakeout. But if you play the principle of what we've been talking about over here, rise, retrace, continuation, you want to buy the retrace. Here's your opportunity. Right here. So by the principle that I've been using to draw all these charts and get a lot of these movements pretty good. I mean, no one's getting this shit. So let's be clear. This is nuts. But so we had another stopping candle here. This is not a stopping here. This one is right here. This is solid. Looking good. Highest volume too. So beat out the red bar that came in here. But anyway, so if you're trying to play this, you could play it on the 30-minute. And like I'm saying, take so you get the first rise, comes into the 50, gets knocked down, bang, here's your big bar. Comes across, closes, but then they slam another one right in on you. So they weren't making it easy. Let's put it that way. They weren't making getting into this thing easy, or But they gave you the impression down here with the stopping candle that this was the bottom. I got this horizontal in from some previous price action. But you can kind of see how this is building out, that this region down here is spike low. But like something like this, because this spikes in low, chops, and now at least it gives you an idea. If it breaks, all right, I can start looking at a buy early, right? Because this is probably aligned with the supply zone. So you can see here I got some horizontals in here from this move up. I probably should have drawn one here. Well, this is the first time it came in, but it chopped right here. Ooh. Yeah, right in this range. And not the spike lows. So yeah, I mean, you look for this type of action, like these spike long wicks. This is 30 minutes. Let's go into the 5 though. I want to see this on 5. So the 5. I already did this on the 5. That's right. I already talked about this one. This was it. Crossed the 20, came back in. You wanted to touch the 50, but this would have been your retrace. So it's good to have some horizontals and play them. You know, because some of these coins, I gotta tell you, they're just not giving you that opportunity to bounce off the EMA all the time. Get this good move. If you have this horizontal in, yeah, you just put your order in there, you know, in advance. But let's see. Now we get some good respect on the 800. She chopped. Oh yeah, this is before this action. I said, you know what, this coin is just going to do the exact same pattern. So I just copied this, copied it over here, and well, what do you know? Bang, bang, bang. This is a little bit more aggressive. Did some chop here, took another level up. And without this nonsense, would have pretty much done what I thought. But then it all ended. I mean, because this was 6 p.m. It's Friday. So the party was over right here, and the volume went away. All the excitement went away. Here we are. We're fucking back, baby. But now, here's what I'm talking about. So as they drop price back down again, they got real aggressive here. Tugs down the 200 below the 800. So now what do we create? Create the opportunity for that big cross again on the 5. But let's see. Wow, this is looking good. It's going to get up into this range, I think, right here where I was looking for. But yeah, volume went away, and man, it just died until they started up Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, man, wow. I had an idea today was going to be some. Wow, there it is, spiked in. I just did it right now. Oh boy, Pepe coin. We're going to put in 20%er today? We're really going to do that? Let's see where we're at. Let's see. 1885 to 1885 to 1958. Why 58? I'm gonna bring that down. That's not correct. 1928 to 1885. It's gonna be quick. There's no reason to stop. Not at all. Yeah, once it crosses this, though, it's got to get above 1786, which it looks like it's going for. I mean, it's going to make short work of that right now. Oh, yeah, it's going to hang. It's going to go. So Pepe is making its move. Oh, yeah, it's going to hang. It's going to go. So Pepe is making its move. It's 16%, baby. There you go. And do it from there because that's what. Wow, that's a good bar. That's nice. But this would have been the bottom. Come in right here. And I can see they're going to work on you in this thing. So there's the first crossover with 50, touches it, brings it back down. Here's where they played games with you. Doing this nonsense. Comes back down. Over the 50. So here's where you want to start looking for a retrace. As it comes across the 50 again, crosses that finally deals with the 800. So before it was kind of failure pattern, and it looked like it was getting above, never used it as support. Here we go. Bang. Gets above, dips below real quick, but here's its first bounce. Now, it's probably going to be hard to take that trade, right? And then all of a sudden you're chasing a candle. Well, what happens? Retrace. All the way, this entire area is your retrace area. Right? And look what it does. It broke this little range right here too. But you can look for it to come back into this area. So even if you got it here, all the way back here, and said, oh, I'm going to take the break of this 800, well, you might want to wait for the retrace, because it might just go lower like it did here. So this break would have not been good for you, this one. And then it's arguable if you'd even want to take this one yet, right? Because if you took this and you got this type of action, all right, and you were watching this, depending how much money you had involved in this type of action and how experienced you are at trading, would dictate whether you'd be able to hold on to most or any of your position in this. I'm just being honest, man. Like, because you're going to be induced to do something. That's what this is all about, right here. Right? So now, okay, retrace point right here. It's okay. Because you finally use the 800 as support. It comes in again and it bounces before. So the principle of using this EMA cloud, what happened? Two things. Used the 800 as support, then came in, bounced off of this cloud. So by that principle, you could have just taken any one of these and, hope for the best, right? It did move, but the point is you got a better retrace, and it was in here. Now this is a shakeout here, and you would be able to better identify this having some trend lines here, but so without this move down below the 50, which is meant to get you out, this would have just been marching right up along this 50 line, right on up, and then bang, gets up, retrace, continuation. So there's a couple of spots in here, but this is really the main area, right in here. That would give you the best idea that this thing is going up. Yeah, in hindsight, this would have been tough. Because these are two zones. You would have had to take in this guy right here, somewhere in here. Seeing this as an accumulation pattern. A break of the range. You just take the wick out, break the range high. It's very much the same. Well, this you could have played different, right? Like if you're saying, hey, I'm going to take this 800 as the first bounce support, a couple candle closures after, this would have been okay too. Using the EMA cloud, bouncing off of here, you probably could have bought somewhere in this range with that logic. And then with that idea, if you did buy this, get shaken out up here, because this isn't an insignificant move. This is 10x this is 22% in a couple hours. Let's be realistic and say, hey, we get into here and we feel that chop, and we're just happy to get out, because this just feels like it's getting nuts. And maybe get out of here. Maybe get out of here. 1%. I mean, if you're sitting at your desk, you're watching this, and that's what got you out, and you stick around, you might recognize that this just pinged off of this 200, 800 cross just happened now on the 5. That might be kind of a big deal. You might want to start paying attention again. Because then when you look at the 30-minute, you realize, wow, this thing came after the cross, where price came down. Price came into this EMA cloud and almost touched the 50 on the 30-minute. After that big shakeout nonsense. So that's what I'm saying. This retrace here allows you to avoid all this crap and buy here. But it's all the same, man. It's the same goddamn patterns. What did it do? Did it just bust up? Yeah, dude. Look at that. Bang. I saw that coming. From the upside, let's build this now. Let's do it. Fucking do it live, baby. Do it live. Because this thing can turn on a dime at any moment. Yeah, did it. They said it was going to be fast to get up here. Let me get back to that 5-minute chart, because you can see what they're doing to you. But yeah, this is a trap zone up here, boys. Like for shorts, anyway. I'll be careful. It gave you some time to get in here. I'll tell you that. After, this is also the principle of letting these vectors come into the charts, right? And I'm not trying to take this trade, Maybe if you're back here and you saw this early on and you were watching this build, sure, you see it come across the 50, it bounces. We've got some green vectors here, so we see some support. Uses the 200 as a little bit of a support, right? And you can also see how this is, I don't want to say really manipulated, but these tugs down force the 200 to come down at a steeper angle, right? And price just comes right back up, right? But what this does, it allows all these stronger EMAs to fan out and align properly for a bullish crossing of all of them. All these three, the 50, the 200, 800, and all of them in between. 10, 21, right? On the 5. Right? I'm not telling you it looks like this on the 15 or anything like that, but it doesn't need to, because look how fast they're oscillating. They're doing this all the time. They're chopping this thing up. Ringing the bell. This is somebody's money. This is somebody's cash machine. So yeah, rise, retrace. So here's another retrace hit point. Yeah, this is on the 5-minute too. So this could have given you an indication that, hey, it's holding up above the 50. But bought any of these candles if you wanted to. This would have been the safest on a retrace. Full retrace. Came all the way in, bounced off the 50, and gave you some time to buy. So there's another spot, by playing these principles of using the 50 EMA, crosses, horizontals, all this stuff that Tim talks about. Trend lines, these trend line zones. Out here, I don't think I'm buying this retrace at this point. Maybe, because, yeah, actually, it's not bad because what you're playing for is to break this high, and when it does, like that's what I'd said. So we're talking down here, and I'm saying, hey, if it breaks this high, it should go through this place, this area, fairly easy, the whole area. And then I thought it could go all the way up here after I looked at this. So yeah, that's his next stop. Yeah, this thing. And even this. Once it trades here for a minute, it's going up here. Easily. Can very easily do it. Correct, too. But that's a psychological level, that's going to have to be dealt with. 2,000. So I wouldn't bet on that just yet. It's a little too aggressive. A little too aggressive, this juncture. But this is nice looking. Look at this 30, right? You know what I mean? It's already pinned. So it's going to be up here for a minute. All coins can just turn around on a dime, but it's looking like, this was the 5 minute I was worried about for these people up here in this that shorted. This zone. I don't think it wants to slow down just yet. This week's high daily range. Now it is. Wow, this is fucking breaking some levels. Went through all the M zones. So EU. Oh, this is the EU. Starting off at the M4, M5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're going to park it up here. I'm telling you, they're just going to start to liquidate dudes right about now. Oh, man. There it is. There's this RSI push. Now, if it does this, gets up here and just stays and flattens out for a minute, this is what it's going to put in another flag. Now, it can get a lower RSI read and put in a higher high. And that's why, because they already breached this zone, I think it'll go right back into it. But this is, here you go. This looks to me like a manufactured move. If, yeah. So I think SNX is putting in this move to the downside to do what I talked about before, get this EMA cross to happen like this, like what happened here. So you rip hard, and just tug this, get this 50 to start. It's already steep, to have a steep angle of attack. So to avoid this cross of the 200, you need a lot of buying now. You know what I mean? Not 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. No, you need it actually kind of now. And you need it probably to get out of the bearish control zone. Because as long as it stays in here, it is just going to be dragging price down now right now. And here's the principle of this 50 EMA. So on the 1 minute, it's been able to get over, but okay. You can see the 1 minute doesn't need to hold or doesn't respect it whatsoever. It's irrelevant largely. So the 5 minute is, a better place to pay attention to, but even that, it bounces around it. But it gives you clues, and you really do need to find the one that gives you the most touch points and stuff like that where you can react quickest. But hold on here, but the 30-minute, let's see, where are we at? Yeah, 30-minute cut it like a knife, which usually doesn't spell like positive things. So now we've already crossed the 200 down. I think they'll probably come at least into this 218 range. Somewhere in here.